If you're an Amazon seller and you're using a Google Sheet like this to store your leads, you are living in the past. My name is Desmond and welcome to Flip Finder Network. Here at Flip Finder Network, we help you start and scale an Amazon online arbitrage business. And to be able to do that, you have to be efficient. And the best way to do that is to stay up to date with the latest and greatest softwares that help you do that and make your life 10 times easier. And I've got a really good one for you here today. This one's going to be a long video because there's a ton of features, so get comfortable and let me show you what I got. Enter Astro Advanced Analytics, and this is their website, astroadvancedanalytics.com. I will link that in the description of this video, but don't get excited and go sign up just yet because you know I got you covered. Here at Flip Finder Network, we have got you a exclusive 25% discount off of your first 3 months, and I will put that in the description as well. Nobody else on YouTube has this right now, so take advantage of that and get ahead of your competition. That is the key to winning on Amazon. Things are always changing and you've got to stay ahead of that curve. So, quick background on Astro before we get started. I met George, who is the founder of Astro, and he's actually got a YouTube channel as well. I will link that in the description. So go subscribe to his stuff, watch some of his videos, give him a follow, whatever. Um, I met George through a mutual friend about a year and a half ago, and my friend reached out and said that he was in contact with this guy who was in the process of developing a Amazon seller tool. And of course, as an Amazon seller myself, I'm always interested in new tools, especially ones that can make my life easier. So, of course, I signed up, talked with George a little bit, and it's been really cool to see the progress of this software in the past, I think about 2.5 years in the making. It's been really cool to be a part of the process and give feedback and things like that. So I'm super excited to finally be able to share this tool with all of my viewers because it is truly a game changer and it saves me so much time and it's a really affordable price point. And there's all kind of Amazon tools out there, but not many actually combine multiple tools in one, which is exactly what Astro does. And it has some pretty cool AI features that make sourcing a breeze. So let's not keep you waiting. I'll get into the meat of this video and I'll show you exactly what you can do with Astro. I want to take a quick second to talk about the price point of Astro because if you want to be able to add suppliers into Astro like I'm about to show you, you're going to need the OA Pro plan, which is the plan I have. It's $50 a month and that allows you to create supplier list within Astro, which is really the bulk of being able to use Astro to its maximum potential for online arbitrage sellers. They do have a $15 a month, which gets you access to the Chrome extension only. And I'm going to talk a lot more about the Chrome extension later in this video. But as I mentioned earlier, you know we got you covered here at Flip Finder Network. George has been kind enough to give us an exclusive 25% discount code for Flip Finder Network members. That code is going to be Flip Finder 25 off. So when you check out, punch that code in, you'll get 25% discount on your first 3 months. And if you're not already a Flip Finder Network member, join our Discord. I will put the link in the description. Discord members actually got access to this about a week ago, so I tend to put stuff out in the Discord a little bit before it makes it to YouTube. So if you want to be first in line for new stuff like this, go join the Discord. It's totally free. Link is down below. When you open up your supplier list, it's going to look something a little like this. Now, I have already uploaded ASINs into this supplier, so if this is your first time, you're going to come up here to add ASIN, and you can enter this information one by one for each ASIN manually, but if you're like me and you've got thousands of old leads tied up in a Google Sheet somewhere, you can actually do a bulk upload, which is so much easier. Drag and drop, upload the file. They've actually got a template for you to show the layout that it needs to be. You just need a couple columns for ASIN, buy call, source link, and things like that. Click on import. Depending on how long that sheet is, it may take a minute or two, but then you will see something a little more like what I've got going on here. Now, tons of information here, but I love the color coding and I like how I can instantly not only see the information that I want to know, but I also know whether it's good or bad. And that's where the color coding really comes in clutch. And I've also heard from a little birdie that in the future update, we'll actually be able to edit the fields and the conditions of how the color coding works. So as of right now, Astro has its own set of rules for how it color codes things, but in the near future, you will actually be able to edit that and control it to be to your preferences, which is crazy update. This is going to be game changer for Astro. So let me go through a quick little overlook of what we've got here for every product. We can hover here and see the product picture. We can zoom in, see a couple of the details related to the product. You see I've got my source link here and a couple other things. We've got our cost of goods. This is a single pack, so this is one. If it was a multi-pack, that would be 2, 3, 4, etc. I do have a prep fee, so I have that calculated in. You can come over to your settings, which is going to be this little thing here, and edit your prep cost and inbound shipping. That way we know that our profit calculations are spot on. So we've got our total cost, which is our price per unit plus our prep. And then we've got the alerts tab, and this is going to let me know instantly what I'm dealing with when it comes to a product. We have the IP alert. We have the brand alert, which lets us know if the brand is a seller on this listing. We have hazmat, also have multiple and variations, so instantly get a good picture at what I'm looking at for this particular product. Moving on over, we have a Amazon tab, and as an online arbitrage seller, I do not like competing with Amazon, so you'll see most of these have a 0. But if Amazon were on this listing, this would say yes, and we could see Amazon's highest, lowest price, and the 30, 90, and 100-day averages. Moving on down, we have got the competition tab, and this is my favorite tab to be in. It lets me know what the other sellers on this listing look like, and this number is actually not the total competition. This is what I love about Astro. Astro recognizes that there can be 50 sellers on a listing, but only 10 of them be competitively priced. So this is actually giving you the number of the competitive offers on this listing. Now this one might be a little bit of a not great example because this one is buy box suppressed. So obviously it's telling us there are 0 competitive offers because there is no buy box. But if I come down here to one that does have a buy box, we can see there are 4 competitive buy box contenders on this particular product. So that means of all the people on this listing, only 4 are competitively priced. And as a Amazon seller, we know it doesn't matter how many people are on a lead. It matters how many are competitively priced because those are people that are going to get the sale. So you can also see the current seller price, the third-party FBA lowest, and I believe this is a all-time lowest, so don't be alarmed if that's significantly lower than your preferred sale price. Like on this one, it's 14 bucks. I believe that's an all-time low. We can see our lowest third-party merchant fulfilled and that seller. And we can also see, this is a really good example, there are 31 FBA offers on this and 10 merchant fulfilled offers, but Astro is telling us only 4 of those are competitively priced. So you can see really quickly that the number of people on a lead doesn't always matter. Moving on down, we've got our sales rank tab, and we can see all the information based around the sales rank, what the rank is, what the category is. We get an estimation of how many have been purchased in the last 30 days, and that's just a estimate based on the sales rank itself. We also get 30, 90, and 180-day averages for those seller ranks, so we can see if a product is becoming more popular, maybe it's fallen off, maybe it's a seasonal product. We've also got a break-even tab here, which is super helpful. It lets us know what our break-even is and where the buy box has been over the last 6 months in comparison to that break-even. So you can see this particular one is a really good example. Our break-even here is about $15.85. You can see In the last 30, 90, or 180 days, we've been well above that break even, and that's why Astro's given this a excellent break even score. So we don't have to worry about that price tanking and not making any profit. We've also got a buy box tab where we can see who is actually in the buy box and what price they are, and we can see our 30, 90, and 180 day buy box averages here, as well as the all-time highest and lowest price. This is the override tab. This is where we could come in and actually override these products that don't have a buy box. So if I wanted to go to the 30-day average, I could do that, or the 90-day average. I think 30 days probably a little more realistic on products that don't have a buy box. Or we can enter a custom price. So if we want to go to this listing and see what the lowest offer was on this, we can enter that there, and then it's going to recalculate our profit and margin. You can see this one just turned to the profitable side now that I've overrode that no buy box. Moving on down, we've got our typical profit calculator here. We've got profit, margin, ROI, and we also have a Astro score. And the Astro score is actually a combination of everything you see here related to this product. And Astro's giving you I believe it's a 1 through a 4 score on how good Astro believes this product is. So we can see here, if we hover over that, it actually tells us what's affecting this Astro score. So this one, an example, Amazon's not in stock. That's really helping the Astro score on this. That's why it's green. Our 30-day buy and our bought in the last 30 days are estimated at 0, which is not good. That's really hurting the Astro score on this. Our break-even strength is excellent. This product has not dropped below break-even in the past year. Our margin is okay at about 9%, and our ROI is 17. And again, in the very, very near future, on one of the next couple updates, you'll actually be able to customize your conditions on what makes a green or a yellow or a red in a lot of these features. We also have a estimated sales per month, and that's about everything you see right here in the main dashboard, but that is the tip of the iceberg with Astro. So what we can do from here is actually, let's click on one of these products. I'll just choose the top one, the first one here, just for an example. Now we've got a lot more information, and we also have a keep a chart here, and this allows me to not have to actually go to Amazon for any kind of sourcing, because I have all the information I need to make a buy right here on Astro. So I have the keep a chart, and you'll notice this keep a chart might look a little bit different than the keep a chart on your Amazon page, because we have this bright yellow line, and this is going to be our break even line, and this is my favorite feature of the Astro keep a chart, because it makes it pretty clear whether a product is going to stay profitable or not. So I can see the last 12 months of keep a data here with an overlay of where my break even is based on my current buy cost, and we can see that this particular product spent most of its time in the last 12 months above that break even line. That helps me really be confident in the products that I'm buying. I can see that over time, even though this product has had some pretty big seller swings, 99% of the time it has spent above that break-even line, which is great. That's what I'm looking for. We also see a little bit of an extended view of all the stuff we looked at before. So we've got our buy box contenders here. We can actually see every seller that's on this listing, what their price is, whether they're margin fulfilled or FBA, also their ratings, and the percentage of buy box they won. Now, this particular one, I believe, didn't have a buy box, so we're getting zeros on that. Let me click on a different one here just to show you what that looks like. So if we go to this one, yeah, we can see Sally Beauty here getting 56% of the buy box, and it looks like most everybody else not getting very much. One other guy, and you can actually filter these top to bottom, bottom to top, however you want, so you can see who's actually getting the most of the buy box. We've got our basic profit calculator here where we can put in our unit cost, the pack number, prep fees, and it spits out what our ROI, margin, and profit are going to be. We've got our Amazon status, bestseller rank, buy box contenders, break even, all the things I talked about that you can see right here on the main page. We can actually see in detail right here in the extended view. So a lot of cool features coming out of Astro, and again, we're still at the tip of the iceberg. So in the next little section here, I'm going to show you exactly how I use Astro to source leads that I have already found in the past and make my replenishments so much faster. There's two different sourcing methods that I like to use within Astro, and I'm going to show you both of them in this video. The first one is what I like to call the sniper rifle method, and this is a technique that I like to use when I know exactly what I'm looking for. And just to give you a kind of real world example of what that could look like, let's just open up this first lead here, these Foster Grant glasses. This was a Walgreens lead. I've shared it a couple times already on the YouTube page, so I'm not really worried about giving it up. But I do know that Walgreens often runs really big sales on this brand of products. So if I was in my email and I saw that Walgreens was running a good sale on this product, what I could do is come into Astro and filter down to only that brand of product. So I could come in here and add a filter of brand name, and we're going to do like, and then we're going to type in Foster Grant, apply our filters, and now we're only looking at the leads that we have from this brand. And why this is so crucial and time saving is before Astro, I would actually have to go into my Google Sheet where I store all my leads, manually search for this brand, and come in and open up all of these ASINs on Amazon and analyze the data. But when I'm using Astro, I have all the data here, so I can instantly see how profitable all of these are, and some of them have changed since I've found them. So this one at the top here is $1.53 profit and 17% ROI. That's well below my criteria. That's not something I would be interested in. And instead of having to open up the Amazon page for every single one of these to find that out, I can see that all right here within Astro. So we can see some of these are almost a $10 profit, 100% ROI. We can open one up and just take a quick look at the data, make sure everything still looks good. We can see this one goes through some really big seller count swings, but that buy box has stayed well above our break-even line in the last 12 months. So I'm very confident that this lead will continue to be profitable. So the only thing I have to do now is actually go to my source link and make sure that I can get it for the same buy cost. But I would only really use this method when I know a sale is happening on these products. So I'm pretty confident I would find them at the same or at least a similar buy cost. And that's the sniper rifle method. Again, I like to use this when I know exactly what I'm looking for. The second sourcing method I'm going to talk about is more of a shotgun type of approach, and I use this technique when I don't really have a good starting point in mind. So I'm not looking for any particular brand or product. I just want to kind of source through some of the leads that I've found in the past, and I like to do this kind of similar to how you would set up a keep a product finder search, but the big difference between that and using Astro is with Keepa, I'm just searching through products that are on Amazon, but with Astro, I'm only sourcing through the products that I have personally found profitable in the past. So I know these were all profitable products at one point in history, so there's a really good chance that they're going to be profitable again in the future. So I'll show you what I can do for that. We can set tons of different filters here. I like to do profit and ROI filters just to start and then kind of narrow it down from there. So let's do a $4 minimum profit filter and a 40% ROI on this one. And we may have to add a couple more filters just to narrow it down a little more. Again, I like to do this kind of similar to how I do my Keep a Product Finder searches. So I will start with a really wide range of filters, and then I will kind of dial that in until I get what I'm looking for. So let's do 40% ROI, and just to make it interesting, let's actually add a couple more here. Let's do a Astro score filter of at least good or better. So that's going to give us products that Astro is saying are good opportunities or better than good opportunities. And let's put one more on it here just to make it fun. Let's do bought in the last 30 days more than or equal to 50. And so we were starting out with about 246 products here. I'm going to put these four filters down, and now we're down to about 44 products. That's still a little bit of a big list to go to, so we could narrow that down just a hair more. But now we can just start going through these products manually one by one, opening them up, taking a look at some of the data. We can also kind of use some of these color codes that Astro's given us, but we know every product in this particular list is going to be a good or better Astro score. So they're all good opportunities according to Astro. I wanted to take a second to show you the most powerful feature of Astro, and this is a really good example. This is a lead that a VA of ours found about a month ago. It was a Vitacost product. We were buying this at 452. Obviously, really good numbers here. It does drop below that break-even line a handful of times in the past, but the offers were a lot higher back then, and it seems to have stabilized out. So I was curious if I could find this again, and I went to the Vitacost link here from where we originally found this, only to find out that they do not carry this product anymore. So what I can do here is I can actually ask Astro to go find suppliers of this product for me. And it's super simple. We just click on this AI search suppliers here. And now Astro is actually sending a AI bot out there into the internet for us. And it's going to try to find profitable suppliers from this product. And you can see it comes back with a ton of results here. Now, obviously, we got to go through them all and see, but it looks like a couple of them are probably going to be profitable. Unfortunately, not as cheap as we were originally buying this product, but let's open a couple of these up and see. So it looks like might be it right here for 969. That's probably going to be profitable. Let's open up this 832. Out of stock there, 832. Not a big deal. Let's see if there's any. Here's a 852. That would probably work. Yeah, 852. Looks like we can maybe get an extra 10% on top of that. So we'll do, let's say 852 with 10%. So now we're looking at about 767 on this product. And let's see, that's definitely still going to be profitable. Not as profitable as before, but this is a hard to find product right now. And we're still looking at about $6 profit, 77% ROI. And this is a really good example I want to show you side by side. So that was Astro's AI bot finding that product for us profitably. I'm going to come in here like I was traditionally sourcing and just Google this product and see if we can find that same supplier. So we see the Vitacost link here. So maybe Vitacost does still carry this product, but definitely not going to be profitable at $14.50. Does look like the brand's also offering it at $14.50. 1109 there, not as profitable. Again, we were getting this for 767 from the supplier that Astro found. And I'm here on the first page of Google and I do not see that supplier. So we're looking for thenatural.com. Nowhere to be found here in the first page of Google. And even if we come to the second page, we found a couple of the same places, like this Nelson was in the Astro list, but they're out of stock, so that doesn't really help us. And 2 pages of Google down, and still not finding this supplier that Astro just found, and even on the third and final page. So I'm not actually able to find this myself on Google, and somehow Astro went out and found this source. Now, obviously, I have to do my due diligence and see if this is a reputable supplier, but it's a really good example of how Astro can really boost your sourcing and maybe find products that other people can't find if they're not using Astro. The last thing I want to show you here is the Astro Chrome extension, and it doesn't matter what plan you have with Astro, you will get access to the Chrome extension right here on the Amazon page, so you can see all of the same data that we were looking at in Astro, but right here on the Amazon product page. So we've got the Amazon in stock, the bought in the last 30 days, recommended 30-day buy, and looks like rep seller is kind of in the way here. So let me pop that out. We got a recommended 30-day buy, our break-even strength, Astro score, profit, all of that good stuff. We have the find vendors with AI button, which is the same thing I was showing you in Astro. And then also we can click this plus button here and see that beautiful keep chart with the break-even overlay and get a look at our competition and a little more detailed view of our profit calculations. I'm going to have several more videos coming out over the next couple months showing you the ins and outs of how to use Astro to maximize your online arbitrage business. So make sure you're subscribed and go check them out today at the link in the description. Don't forget that exclusive 25% discount. Use coupon code FLIPFINDER25 off, and we will see you on the next one.